Hello and welcome to U.S. Maritime Action. Today we're going to talk about tariffs and American shipping. So one of the things that I frequently hear cited when people bring up tariffs is that that's what our nation is founded on, which is absolutely true. But one of the key things I want to point out is the first tariff we created in the tariff of 1789, we actually had lower tariffs for U.S. ships. Crazy concept, I know, right? But this helped make our ships immediately more competitive for the import market, and that's something that we are struggling with a lot today. Today, American ships only import about 1% of US goods. Crazy low number. Just think about that. Very few goods actually imported on ships that are crewed by Americans. We're pretty much reliant on foreign merchant mariners to bring in all these goods that we use on a day-to-day basis in the United States. So what do we do about that? We can make American ships more cost competitive in the long run by just not having tariffs on them. In some cases, that will save millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. Commercial ships these days in the US, they're very expensive. People will quote somewhere between 2 to 5 times more expensive to build at a US shipyard than in a foreign shipyard. There's a lot of reasons for that. We won't go into that in this video, but something you can do to offset that cost difference: no tariffs. I'll say it time and time again. We need to either abolish tariffs for US flagged ships or significantly lower them, so that way we gain some of that cost competitiveness back in the international market. Right now, all the tariffs, they're focused on China. They're not focused on us. They're focused on China. That does absolutely nothing to help the US shipbuilding industry. So far, we've seen shipbuilding orders going to South Korea, Japan. South Korea, rather, is investing in some other Southeast Asian countries, Vietnam and Philippines, namely. So we might see some of the market share taken away from China, but nothing has come back to the US. We simply haven't created a environment in which our fleet is going to be cost competitive in the international market. And a simple way to do that, don't tariff US shipping. We need to help encourage the US shipyards by making our ships more competitive on the foreign market. And that's just not happening.